Meg, we are talking about traveling and visiting other countries. What countries have you traveled to?
Ah, I've been to quite a few different countries. For example, Spain, Belize, and Indonesia.
Wow, three different continents.
Yeah, pretty far apart.
Wow, that's cool. So, Spain, that must be a really nice country. What
Mm.
did you think of Spain?
Spain is really beautiful. There's a lot of beautiful nature and also some nice cities. While I was there, I lived in a small city called Cáceres.
Oh, nice. Are the people really friendly in Spain?
Yes, actually, the people are very friendly and very helpful, especially if you're lost.
Oh, that's great. I hear Spanish food is really, really good.
Spanish food is delicious. I lived with a Spanish family, and my Spanish mom cooked delicious meals every day for lunch. In Spain, seafood is really popular, so I ate a lot of fish and shrimp.
Oh, I love fish and shrimp.
Me too.
Mm. Now, Spain is really warm, right?
Yes, Spain was very hot while I was there during the summer.
Oh, yeah? How hot? How hot does it get?
It got up past 40 degrees Celsius during the summer.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty hot.
Does it rain?
It does rain, but when I was there in the summer, it didn't rain very often.
So, what about Belize? Belize is a really small country.
Belize is very small, but it's also hot, similar to Spain in the summer.
Why did you go to Belize?
I went to Belize on a study trip for school, and I stayed there for about 2 weeks.
Okay. Now, does Belize have good food?
Belize also has good food. There was a family that cooked for us, and we had a lot of delicious, almost Mexican type food.
Oh, really? So, for example, what do you eat? Like, what do people eat in Belize?
People eat, it's kind of like a taco, but flat, with a tortilla and some meat and vegetables on top and some spices that make it really delicious.
So, the last country is Indonesia. When did you go to Indonesia?
I actually went to Indonesia just last year.
Oh, whoa. How
Hmm.
long did you stay?
I only stayed there for about a week.
Oh, yeah? Ooh, short trip.
Yeah, it was a short trip, but I was just visiting some friends there.
Where did you go?
I went to Jakarta and Bali.
Oh, okay. So, I hear Bali has really beautiful beaches. Is it true?
Yeah, it's true. There are a lot of famous and beautiful beaches in Bali.
Oh, did you surf in Bali?
I've never surfed before. Usually, when I went to the beach, I just wanted to put my feet in the water.
Oh, yeah. Now, Bali also has very famous scenery on the inside, like the rice fields. Did you see the rice fields of Bali?
No, I didn't see the rice fields, but I did go to some famous historical spots.
So, of the three countries, Spain, Belize, and Indonesia, what country was your favorite?
Mm, Maybe Spain was my favorite because I love learning language and it was really nice to stay with my Spanish family.
Yeah, I could see that. I really want to go to Spain, and I hope to go soon.
I hope you can go too. It's beautiful.
So, John, do you like to play golf?
Well, no, I don't play golf very much, but I play disc golf.
Disc golf? What's that?
Well, some people call it frisbee golf. Basically, there are courses at parks. It's similar to golf, but the courses are much smaller. You use frisbees or flying discs, and you have to throw it. So it's different from golf. You're not aiming for a small hole, but actually you need to throw the frisbee into a basket.
Oh, that sounds fun. Is it very easy?
Well, it can be easy or it can be very difficult. It depends on the course. Many different parks have different disc golf courses, and you can be a easy beginner or you can be an expert. It all depends on how much you want to get involved.
I see.
My friends and I, we're beginners, so we just like to have fun. So we just do the easy courses and have a good time. I think it's relaxing.
So you only need one frisbee?
Well, actually, it's better to have 2 or 3. You can play with one, but in fact, when you learn more about disc golf, there are different sizes and weights of the discs.
Why would you want a different size disc?
Well, it's similar to the clubs in golf. When you throw your first throw, you want it to go very far, so you should use a heavier disc. But when you're near the basket, you should make a short throw, so you want a lightweight disc.
I see. That's interesting.
Yeah, so as I said, when you want to become an expert, you have to spend more money to get better equipment. It's like any sport, I guess. In fact, they have disc golf competitions now. So you can even participate in a tournament and win some prize money.
Did you ever compete?
Oh no, I'm just a beginner. I don't think I want to be too serious about it.
So golf has 18 holes. How about disc golf? Does it have 18 holes too?
Well, not usually. Golf courses are very large, but disc golf courses are usually found in parks. So they usually have only 6 holes, but you can play 18 holes by doing all 6 3 times each.
I see. How do you keep score?
Scorekeeping is like real golf. So the winner should have the lowest score. Every time you throw a frisbee or a flying disc, you have to mark 1 point. So if you can do a hole-in-one, that means you can hit the basket on your first try. Then you'll only have 1 point. That's best. But I'm not that good at it, so usually I have 3 or 4 points for each course.
I see. You said disc golf is at the park. Do you have little kids playing in the middle of the course?
Sometimes the kids, of course, they can play wherever they want. And the courses do go through the park where kids play, so we have to be very careful. And we have to use good sportsmanship to wait for the course to be clear.
It sounds like a lot of fun.
It is fun. Maybe you can join us next time.
That sounds great. Thank you.
Okay, so Rebecca, we just talked about kids and technology. And you asked me about whether or not I should give a cell phone to my son.
Yeah.
Now I would like you to give me a little bit of advice for my daughter. I have a daughter, and she's only 7 months old, but I'm worried about when she's older, when she gets a boyfriend, and when she has her first date, and when she will start wearing makeup. So, could you kind of give me some advice about this?
Oh, well, I think maybe I had a bit of an unusual experience. My mom actually made me wear makeup.
Really?
When I got into high school. It was like, in middle school, I was the kid with, braces and glasses, stuck in a book, and my mom was like, "You can't do that in high school. You'll never meet anyone."
Wow.
So she took away my glasses and made me get contacts, and I couldn't do anything about the braces, but as long as you cover your mouth or do something weird when you smile.
Wow, that sounds quite the opposite to many of my friends. Like they all wanted to wear makeup, and their parents wouldn't let them.
No, I was a tomboy. My mom was actually kind of worried. Like, she was like, "Do you have any interest at all in girly things?" I was like, "No, I don't like shoes. I don't like clothes. I don't need a purse. I'll just go climb a tree."
So,
See?
so do you think it's important as a parent to steer your children, like to kind of sculpt them and make them into more rounded people, or do you think you should just let them go?
At the time, I think I actually resented my mom for it. Because, like, she waxed my eyebrows.
Really? Wow.
My mom removed my eyebrows. She sat me down and was like, "You have a unibrow, that is not acceptable." And she pinned me down and ripped them out, and I screamed, and I hated her for weeks.
Oh, wow. How old were you when she did that?
Oh, God, it was the end of middle school sometime. But middle school, high school, somewhere in that area.
So like 15?
15-ish, yeah. And I didn't shave either. My mom actually shaved my legs the first time. She's like, "You need to shave this now." I was like...
Actually, I remember that one time you had a party and you made that really nice pumpkin dip.
Oh yeah, that's a popular one. Everyone loves that when I make it.
What do you need for it?
It's really easy. All you need is 1 can of canned pumpkin, 1 8-ounce block of cream cheese, powdered sugar, and a few spices.
Is it easy to make?
It is. You just let the cream cheese melt a little, and then you blend it together with the pumpkin and the powdered sugar. And then after you get that really smooth and creamy, then you put in the nutmeg, ginger, and cinnamon.
Wow, it sounds yummy.
It is. It's great. And then I usually put a few cinnamon sticks in for appearance, and then serve it with ginger snaps and with green apples cut into slices. It's good with both of those.
Cool, I'm going to try that sometime. What else can you make?
Well, like I said, I'm not much of a cook, so I don't cook much. I put things together. You know what? I have a blender and I do a lot of smoothies. I love making smoothies. Yeah, I buy the fruit and then keep the fruit in the freezer. That's the trick. You've got to freeze the fruit. And then you don't need ice, so it doesn't taste watered down. So you take the frozen fruit, put it in the blender, and then you just mix it with yogurt or fruit juice, and it's delicious.
What kind of fruit do you like to use?
Well, my favorite is just really simple. It's just frozen strawberries, frozen banana, orange juice, and a little honey if you want, but you don't even need the honey. And then I have another I like with mango and papaya and pineapple and yogurt.
Well, between your smoothie and pumpkin dip and my eggplant curry, we can throw quite a party.
Let's do it. We'll do it on your rooftop with your cats.
Sounds like a good idea.
So, Nabil, I really like that eggplant curry you made the other night. What's in that?
Oh, you did? Okay. It's actually really easy. There's eggplant, and you need some potatoes, some tomatoes, and onions, and a few spices.
Okay, what spices?
Well, I use about half a teaspoon of turmeric powder and a teaspoon of coriander powder, red chili, and cumin.
Are those easy to find at any grocery store?
You can find them at most grocery stores nowadays. If you can't find them at the major ones, then you might want to look for an international food store. And all of those carry the Indian spices.
Okay. I have a really small kitchen. What kind of equipment do you need to make it?
Oh, nothing at all. You just need a stove and you need a saucepan.
Okay, I can handle that. So how do I make it?
Well, first of all, you heat some oil in the saucepan. And when the oil is hot enough, then you add the chopped onions and a tablespoon of garlic paste and a tablespoon of ginger paste.
Okay.
And you let those cook for a few minutes until the onions are turned brown. Then after that, you add the tomatoes and let those cook for a bit until the tomatoes have gone soft. And then you add all the spices, the turmeric, the red chili, the coriander, the cumin, and the salt, of course. And just mix it up well at that point and add some water.
Okay.
The water prevents the spices from burning. After that, add the potatoes and then add the eggplant. And then pour in about a glass of water just to make sure that the potatoes and the eggplant are covered. And then you turn it to low heat and put the lid on and let it cook for about 15 minutes.
Okay, I'm not much of a cook, but I think I can do that. I'll give it a try.
Well, good luck.
Thanks. Maybe I'll have you over and let you try it.
Yeah, I'd love that.
All right.
So, Meg, are you busy this weekend?
Yes, I'm so busy because I'm moving.
Oh, no.
Yeah, there's a lot of work to do.
What do you have to do?
First, I have to prepare my apartment. So I need to pack all of my things.
That's not fun.
No, it takes a long time.
Do you need help?
Yeah, do you have time to help me?
I can help you on Sunday.
Oh, are you busy on Saturday?
Yeah, on Saturday I have to work. I have to teach 2 classes. And then after I teach, I have to grade papers.
It sounds like you're really busy too.
Yeah. Plus, I have to meet my friends that evening.
Oh, what will you do with your friends?
I'm helping my friend also. My friend has car problems. So I have to take him to the mechanic.
Ah.
But
So a
on
lot to do.
Sunday, I can help you.
Okay, that would be great because on Sunday I have to take some trash to the dump and I have to finish some paperwork at City Hall to prepare for moving to a new country.
Oh. Now, because you're moving, do you have to go to the post office?
I do have to go to the post office. I almost forgot. At the post office, I have to submit a form to say my new address.
Ah, that's good because I have to go to the post office too.
Oh, really?
I have to send my mom's birthday gift to her.
When is your mom's birthday?
It was 1 month ago.
Ah, so you have to send it quickly.
Yes, I have to get on it.
Okay, well, let's go together.
So I'll see you Sunday. What time should I be here?
I have to go to City Hall by 3 p.m., so can you come at 2?
Okay, but if you want to go to the dump closes at noon, so we have to leave earlier.
Ah, okay. Can you come at 11?
Yes. Okay, so I will see you at 11 o'clock.
Great. See you then.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, Katie,
Yeah.
let's take an international test.
Oh, okay.
How international are you? Let's find out.
Let's find out.
Okay, first, have you ever eaten Greek food?
Greek food. I've eaten, how do you say it, falafel?
Oh, is that Greek?
I think so.
Okay,
I've had that, but apart from that, I've never eaten Greek food.
okay.
How about you?
Have you? I think I have. Well, I've eaten Greek yogurt. Does that count?
That counts.
That counts.
That counts.
Okay. Have you ever eaten Russian food?
What's Russian food?
I think like Russian food, like, is it borscht? Borscht is like a soup, a cabbage soup.
I've never eaten Russian food.
Yeah, maybe I haven't eaten Russian food either. Okay, last one. Have you ever eaten Vietnamese food?
I see it written down. Is it pho?
Pho, the noodles?
Yeah, I've eaten pho before.
Yeah, I've been to Vietnam, so I've eaten Vietnamese food a lot. And pho, the noodles, is really good.
It's delicious.
I've had that too. Okay, now let's talk about languages.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever studied French?
I have. I've studied French for 5 years.
Ooh, can you still speak French?
Nope, not at all.
Yeah, me too. I once studied French years ago, but I haven't spoken French in so long. I can't remember anything.
I can't remember anything either.
Yeah. Have you ever studied an Asian language?
I've studied Japanese.
Ooh, okay.
I can still speak it a little bit now. And I studied a little bit of Korean, but I don't speak Korean.
Oh, really? Okay. Wow, like I've studied Thai
Okay.
because I lived in Thailand for 5 years, and like you, I've studied Japanese, but my Japanese is terrible.
How about your Thai?
My Thai is okay. It's okay. I can talk a little bit. Okay, so have you ever met a Spanish person?
A Spanish person? Actually, I don't think I have.
Really?
I don't think I have met a Spanish person.
Oh, interesting. I've been to Spain, so I've met a few, and we have a Spanish teacher at my school.
Oh, maybe I have met a Spanish person then. Maybe I've met a secret Spanish person.
Okay, have you met a Chinese person?
Oh, yes, I've met lots of Chinese people.
Okay. And have you met a Brazilian person?
I feel like if I say no, then I have. Probably. I've probably met a Brazilian person.
Yeah, I've met a few people from Brazil, so they're always very nice, very friendly people.
Hey, Todd. Are you healthy? Do you eat lots of fruits and vegetables?
I guess I am healthy. I do eat lots of fruits and vegetables, but I also eat junk food, sadly. But I try to eat lots of fruits, especially to stay healthy.
What kind of fruits do you like to eat?
Well, I like all fruits. I love all fruits except pineapple. I hate pineapple. I don't know why. I just don't like pineapple. I don't like the taste. I don't like to chew it. It just feels funny. But I love apples. I love bananas. I love oranges. I usually have an apple every morning for breakfast. It's very easy to eat, and I just love apples because you can take them to school. You can eat them quickly. They're very easy to eat. I also like oranges, and I love orange juice. So sometimes I make fresh orange juice in my kitchen. So oranges are great, but my favorite fruits are bananas and strawberries. I love bananas and strawberries, and I love to eat bananas and strawberries together. So my favorite snack is to cut up some banana and then cut up some strawberry and mix them together and then eat them.
Well, it sounds like you really like a lot of fruits.
Oh, yeah, I do.
What about vegetables? Do you eat vegetables every day?
I do. I try to have a salad every day, and I have a special salad I make, and I call it my chunky, crunchy salad. And it's carrots, cucumbers, and tomatoes, and I cut the carrots and cucumbers into small little squares, and then I cut up the tomatoes and I mix them together. And the carrots, tomatoes, and cucumbers mixed together, the colors are really pretty. And when you eat the salad, it's very crunchy and it's very chunky because it's all little squares. So I call it my crunchy, chunky salad.
Oh, that sounds delicious. Do you ever share it with someone else?
No, I don't, but I want to because I like it so much and I can't cook. So when I go to somebody's house and I need to bring food, I think, oh, I should bring chunky, crunchy salad.
That's a good idea. Another idea is to cook some vegetables. Do you cook vegetables?
Not too much. I do cook asparagus. Asparagus is probably my favorite vegetable, and it's very easy to cook because asparagus you just have to cut up into small pieces, and then you can put the asparagus in a bowl with some water in the microwave, and you can cook asparagus in about 30 seconds. So I eat asparagus a lot. Also, I eat broccoli. I love broccoli. Sometimes I have broccoli and lettuce together for my salad. And then sometimes I cook eggplant. I like to cook eggplant because I like the taste and it's easy to cook.
I don't really like eggplant.
Really?
I don't.
Oh no, why not?
It has a strange flavor to me, so I prefer not to eat eggplant.
Well, as long as you eat your veggies.
Yes.
In Australia, there's lots of snakes as well. Is there snakes in Guam?
Oh, yeah. There's plenty of snakes in Guam. One of which is very famous is the brown tree snake. Now, the brown tree snake was brought over to Guam a long time ago in cargo ships when it hid in the cargo, and the cargo was unloaded onto the docks of Guam. So when these brown tree snakes were accidentally released onto Guam soil, they subsequently destroyed most of Guam's bird population. Can you believe that?
Oh, that's amazing. So, yeah, introductions like that can cause disasters for wildlife.
Yeah, exactly. And because these brown tree snakes destroyed most of the bird life on Guam, we've lost a lot of beautiful tropical birds that used to live on Guam. Another thing that I can think of that was introduced to Guam, but isn't a wild animal, is a wild plant. And we call it the Japanese bonsai leaf, actually. And I believe bonsai means suicide or something in Japanese. But what these leaves do is that they grow and grow, and they look like vines. So they cover loads and loads of trees and good wildlife that are out there. Plant life. And they keep these plant life from growing because they essentially ambush them and keep sunlight from ever reaching them.
Oh, it's really interesting.
Yeah. So if you can imagine a building covered completely in really thick vine, that's how these Japanese bonsai leaves work. They completely shroud and cover all of the good plant life that we have on Guam. So we've lost a lot of good plant life, beautiful different types of leaves and bushes and flowers. Yeah. So in addition to losing all of our bird life, we've also lost a lot of this plant life to this introduction of a foreign plant species to Guam.
Is there any natural disasters which happen?
Yeah, there's plenty of natural disasters. Guam is actually right on the coast of a reef formation called the Marianas Trench, and underneath in this trench is the lowest part of the world, the deepest part of the world.
Wow.
Yeah, so if we joke about it, we joke that Guam's highest mountain, Mount Lam Lam, is actually the highest mountain in the world if you count off from its base, which is in the Marianas Trench, the lowest part of the world.
Wow, that's amazing. So there must be good diving if you talk about barrier reefs.
Yeah, there's plenty of good diving. It's got really great diving like you would find in Hawaii or in the Great Barrier Reef. And many tourists from all over Asia come to Guam to scuba dive because there are great spots, and it's the closest U.S. soil they can get to.
Ah, I see. But in Australia, in the Great Barrier Reefs, there's lots of dangerous animals. Is that the case in Guam as well? Or?
Well, actually, that's funny you should ask. There has been a recent article about a guy in Guam, a very young guy who was scuba diving, and he got stung by a lionfish.
Oh.
But that is the extent of the dangerous animals of Guam. You'd have to go out into the deep sea to find more dangerous animals. But I think the most dangerous ones we have are quite small. Things like the lionfish, which I just mentioned. He just got stung, but it wasn't anything terrible. We do have reef sharks, but they are not great white sharks, so they're quite small. And smaller poisonous things like triggerfish, those you just have to be careful about whenever you're scuba diving. But other than that, there's not much dangerous in the sea.
Great.
So, Clan, you're from Trinidad and Tobago, and you were saying that your country has a very diverse multicultural mix.
Yes.
Can you talk about that?
Oh, sure. Trinidad and Tobago mostly were made up of people from African descent, who came as slaves, and Indians who came from India mostly. I think we also may have some from parts of Bangladesh, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka. But they came as indentured laborers closer to when slavery was being abolished. And these two groups actually make up the two largest ethnic groups in Trinidad. However, there's a lot of mixing. It's very difficult to find someone in Trinidad and Tobago who is extremely purely of one ethnic group, because everyone is sort of mixed. We have also a lot of whites or Caucasians who are native to Trinidad and Tobago, who speak exactly like me with my Caribbean accent. And many people find it very strange because they will walk around in Trinidad and think that they're tourists, but realize that they're actually native Trinidadians. And many also come from Europe to settle in Trinidad after retirement and have their families here. So this is how they came to stay here. We have a very large Chinese population, and it's growing because now the government is encouraging immigrants from China to come in to help us with our development to build our capital city. So we have a lot of Chinese. We have a lot of Colombians, Venezuelans, people coming from South and Central America, migrating to Trinidad because Spanish is now being promoted as a second language for Trinidad. So street signs in our capital city are in English and Spanish. So with all of this mixing of different people, it's very, as I said, very difficult to find one person who is of just one ethnic group. And it's reflected in our food, it's reflected in the kind of music we listen to, sometimes in the way we dress. For me, for example, I am mostly of African descent, but my dad is mixed with people from South American ethnicity and Chinese. So, as I said, although I am mostly African, everybody still has a little bit of something in them.
Hey Todd, where do you live?
I live on the east side of town.
Oh, do you like it there?
I do. I live in an older house, but it's a big house, and it's really relaxing. It's a nice place to live.
Wow, sounds nice. How many rooms does it have?
My house is pretty big. It's 4 rooms. It has a big sleeping room. It's a Japanese house, so it's not really a bedroom because you sleep on the floor.
Oh.
But it also has a living room, it has like an office room, and it has a kitchen.
Is it a big kitchen?
No, it's a pretty small kitchen, and it's a very old kitchen. I have a small stove, so it's very difficult to cook. But, you know, I have a refrigerator, I have a microwave, I have a nice kitchen table to eat at. So it's a pretty decent kitchen.
It sounds okay. What about your living room? What do you have in the living room?
My living room, it's pretty cool for a guy because it's a good place to watch sports. I have a really big TV, and I have cable TV, so I get all the football channels.
Nice.
And I have a really big sofa, so I can sit on my sofa and watch sports and drink beer. It's great.
Sounds relaxing.
Very relaxing.
Well, do you also have a nice bathroom?
I do. I actually have 3 bathrooms.
Oh, really?
It's kind of crazy. Yeah, so in English, you know, we say bathroom, but I have 2 rooms that are for the toilet, and I have 1 room or bathroom with the toilet for the guests, and then I have a bathroom that I use. And then also, I have a natural hot spring bath outside my house. So if I want to take a shower or bathe, I use that room.
Wow, I'd love to have a hot spring at my house.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Oh.
It's very, very nice.
Does your house also have a yard?
It kind of has a yard. So outside my house, there's an area for flowers and bushes, and it's like a yard or a garden around the house, but it's not a place you can play sports. There's no grass or anything. So it's a very, very small yard. But, you know, it's a nice place.
Oh, yeah. It sounds like a nice place to live.
It is a nice place to live. I'm very, very lucky.
You said you have a sleeping room, not a bedroom. What does that mean?
Yeah, I live in a Japanese style house, so it's called the tatami room. And you sleep in the tatami room, and you sleep on the floor on a futon. So I don't have a bed, so it's not a bedroom. It's a room that you sit in during the day and you can eat and talk with guests, but it's also a room that you sleep in at night. So, yeah, I call it my sleeping room, but I think in Japan they just call it the tatami room.
Is it comfortable sleeping on the floor?
Yeah, it's really comfortable. Now I love it. So before I slept on a bed, but now I sleep on the futon on the floor, and I really like it. Actually, I prefer to sleep on the futon on the floor.
Well, it sounds like your house is really comfortable.
It is. It is. I never want to leave. So, Meg, do you live in a house or an apartment?
I live in an apartment near the train station.
Oh, you live downtown.
I do.
Do you like living downtown?
I do like living downtown because it's so convenient. Everything is close by. Grocery stores, the mall, the station.
Oh, that's great. So
Yeah.
what about your apartment? Do you have a nice apartment?
It's a nice apartment, but it's really small.
Oh, yeah? How many rooms?
Well, there are 3 rooms, but each room is pretty small.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bedroom, a sitting room, like a living room, and the kitchen room.
Oh, wow. So in your bedroom, like, do you have like a big queen size bed, a small bed?
I have a small twin-size bed or a single bed in the bedroom because it's pretty small, so there's not much space for a big bed.
All right. So do you have a TV in your bedroom?
No, actually, I don't own a TV at all.
Really? So there's no TV in the living room, too?
There's no TV anywhere in the apartment.
Wow. What do you do in your house?
I have a laptop computer, so usually I can watch some TV shows or videos on my laptop.
Oh, right. Okay. Do you like to watch movies in bed?
Yeah, sometimes I like to watch movies in bed, or sometimes I prefer to sit in the living room and watch movies.
Right. So you must have high-speed internet.
I do, yes. I have an internet box that my laptop can connect to.
Okay, cool. Do you have a nice big sofa?
I have 2 small sofas, so you can push them together to make one big sofa, or you can keep them separate. Usually I keep them separate because there's more room for people to sit on.
Okay. Now you like to cook, so you must have a nice kitchen.
Unfortunately, I have a very tiny kitchen.
Oh no. How do you
There's-
cook?
I have to use some extra tables to have more space. The counter is really small, so there's not much space. So I have an extra table I use for preparing the food.
Okay. Do you have an oven?
I have a very small toaster oven, so it's not really an oven.
All right. So do you have a microwave?
I do have a microwave and a small refrigerator and one burner, like a stovetop burner.
Okay. Do you cook every night?
I don't cook every night. Sometimes I'm too busy, and sometimes because my kitchen is so small, I get a little frustrated, so I just pick up some food from a restaurant.
All right. Now, you live in an apartment, so how many floors does your apartment building have?
The building has 5 floors, and I live on the 5th floor.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fifth floor.
Yeah, the view is nice, but unfortunately there's no elevator, so you always
Oh,
have to take
no.
the stairs.
Wow, 5 flights of stairs.
5 flights of stairs every day, but it's good exercise.
So you're on the 5th floor. Do you have a balcony?
I have a small balcony where my washing machine is, and I can also hang up my laundry out there.
Oh, cool. Washing machines outside.
It is outside. It's a little different from my house in America.
Oh, so from your view, what can you see?
I can see the train station from one window and all the restaurants downtown. And from a different window, I can see the mountains.
Oh, nice. Yeah, the mountains are nice.
Yeah, it's really pretty. Hey, Todd. I know you've traveled a lot. What countries have you lived in?
I've lived in 3 countries. I've traveled to many, many countries, but I've actually lived in 3. I lived in England for 1 year. I lived in Thailand for 4 years. And I have lived in Japan for 15 years.
Wow. So when you lived in England, why did you live there?
It was the first country I traveled to after college, and I had a work permit, a work visa for 1 year, and I worked at a pub restaurant, which was great. It was in the countryside, and I really enjoyed it. And then I did that for 6 months. I lived near Cambridge, so I was near Cambridge University. And then after that, I moved to London, and again, I worked at a restaurant, and I lived in London and just worked.
Wow. So it was after college. How old were you?
I was 23 years old.
Oh, and living in London, that must have been fun.
It was fun, and interestingly, when I went to England, I could not speak English. So I could not understand British people. It took me maybe 2 months before I could understand their English. So it was very, very difficult to understand British people when I first moved there.
Ah, so you liked it.
I did like England. It was fun. It was my first country. But the weather was cold for me. So I'm from California, and California in the United States is very warm. So I didn't like the weather, but that's okay because all British people don't like the weather too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Everybody complains about the weather.
So after England, did you move someplace warmer?
I did. Right after England, I moved to Thailand, and I lived in Thailand for over 4 years.
Wow. Why did you live in Thailand?
I was traveling, and in Thailand, I had no money, and I needed a job, and I wanted to stay in Thailand, so I became an English teacher.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you teach English there for 4 years?
I did. So I went there and I began teaching English. Then I got a teaching course certificate to teach English in Thailand, and I really enjoyed it. The Thai students were really fun. And Thailand is a great place to live because the weather is really nice, the people are really friendly, and the food is delicious. It has the best food in the world, I think.
I've also heard that Thailand is beautiful. Is it true?
It is. It has many, many beautiful islands, and it has lots of beautiful places with nature in the mountains. It has jungles. It has beautiful beaches. So it's a nice place to live.
So you liked Thailand too?
I did. Thailand was great. Yeah.
So England, Thailand. You said next was Japan?
Yeah, so next was Japan, and Japan's nice. I am a teacher, an English teacher in Japan, and I love teaching English in Japan. Like Thailand, the food is really, really good. The people are nice. The scenery is really beautiful. So Japan is really nice.
Are there fun things to do in Japan?
Yes, actually, I like Japan the most because you get everything. You get lots of beautiful nature, so you can go hiking, you can go see beautiful beaches, you can go to really nice islands, but also Japan has many, many nice cities. So you can go to Tokyo, Osaka, Fukuoka, and the cities have lots to do. There's good shopping, great restaurants. It's easy to travel in Japan by train and bus, so it's really nice.
Oh, that sounds like the best of both worlds.
Yeah, it is. Definitely a good place to live. So, Juliet, now you are a parent.
That's right.
And have you heard of all these terms that we have in the U.S. for different types of parents? I wonder if you have them in the U.K.
You mean like soccer mum, stuff like that?
Exactly.
That's the only one I've heard of, actually.
Okay, so what do you think a soccer mom is? What have you heard?
My My image is a mother who dedicates her time to running her kids to and from soccer practice. Is that right? And also
Right.
drives a big vehicle. My image is like a big SUV or a big four-wheel drive.
Right. I think it's like a parent that has many scheduled events for their child.
Okay.
So like
And
maybe
runs
they have
between
swim
them.
class, soccer practice, ballet, stuff like that.
Oh, maybe I'm a little bit of a soccer mom.
Yeah, I think yeah. I think it's a good term. Like I think a soccer mom usually is considered a caring parent,
Okay.
and they try to have their child do like productive
Must be pretty
things.
quite an affluent, perhaps middle class kind of parent.
Yeah, exactly. Now we have the equivalent, and it's called a NASCAR dad.
Is NASCAR some kind of car racing?
Yeah, basically it's just these cars. They run right around in a circle. It's kind of like horse racing for cars. They just go round and round. But yeah, so I guess it's the same thing. It's just a dad who's really, really into his kids. Spends a lot of time with his kids.
Would this be a
He's a-
stay-at-home dad, like a?
No, it's just kind of like a good old boy father, like a dad who's kind of blue collar, not rich, maybe lower middle class, maybe, but just kind of like your typical TV sitcom dad, I guess.
But that's nice. Takes his kids everywhere. That's nice.
Yeah.
Involved in the.
Yeah, like a
Involved
NASCAR
in
dad
the-
would probably take his sons hunting and maybe take his daughter shopping and stuff like that. Well, actually, speaking of extreme sports, we're talking about extreme sports. Have you heard about ultra marathon?
I'm reading a book right now that's about a tribe of ultra runners in Mexico, and I think it's going to come onto the subject of ultra marathons.
Yeah, I mean, what does the book talk about?
The book talks about this very old tribe who can run for days. Like
Days?
Days, yeah. And some of the members of this tribe are already in their 80s, their 90s, and they scale mountains, and they have a very frugal diet. They run barefoot.
Barefoot?
They run barefoot.
In the desert,
in
on
the
rocks?
Desert. Yeah.
Wow.
And they are they run they don't, as soon as they learn to walk, they're running, and they run their whole lives, and they run like 100 miles is just like a walk in the park to them. They just...
That's insane.
At very high speeds.
Well, I
And
mean, do they have some secret, some traditional secret?
Well, yeah. They do. They're a very mystical tribe, and they're not that well known. The book's written by a journalist who investigates, and he records his story of how he gets to meet. Just even finding them and meeting them is a huge ordeal in itself.
Because, I mean, physiologically, it sounds like that's impossible. Like the human body can only run so far because it needs water, it needs food, it needs rest.
I don't know. I think the part of the philosophy of the book is that we're limited by our belief in that, and that in fact this tribe don't have that belief, therefore they don't have those limits. They kind of surpass those limits simply by they just do it. Nobody told them they couldn't, so they
just did
nobody
it.
told them they needed a pair of $100 shoes in order to run. They just it's like it's a natural human thing, and it's like an atavistic thing.
Wow.
Humans, we can run down gazelle. We can run faster than horse. I mean, we can run further than horses and these creatures that we think have
Are you sure about
ability.
that?
Absolutely, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never heard that before.
That's why, people who... It's quite dangerous to run with a dog, for example. People who run and take the dogs, because dogs can't run as far as humans.
Really?
Yeah, and dogs can't sweat. Humans can run and run and run for days. That's how they killed prey when we were in the caves.
They just never gave up.
You can outrun an antelope, because antelope can only have short, sharp bursts of speed, but a pack of humans can run down any animal on the planet.
Well, that's good to know. If I ever need to kill an antelope.
Well, yeah, obviously you can't just, stick your shoes on and set off and.
Wow. Good stuff, though. So, but would you like to try it someday? Try one of these ultra marathons?
I think it's good to have a goal, but I like training for these kind of things. And ultramarathon, mentally, I don't know I have that ability to run for that far, that long. I'd like to have. I'd like to try and develop that stamina.
Yeah. I think maybe in my younger days, but
no, I don't.
Or another life, but I'm going to pass.
I think that running actually requires a lot of maturity. So the older you get, the better you are at running, because you give up on stuff when you're young and your brain's quite, you can't concentrate. You learn concentration and discipline, and they come with age and maturity. So I think we get better runners as we get older. That's what I'm banking on anyway.
Yeah, me too. So I got that on my side. Hey, Julia.
Hey, Todd. How you doing?
Good. Now, Julia, you were really fit, and also you are a yoga instructor and a runner. So you are the perfect person to talk about extreme exercise.
Extreme. I wouldn't say I'm an extremist, but go on.
Okay, so first of all, I thought I would ask about this yoga that you do in like really hot rooms or something like that.
Oh yeah, the Bikram yoga it's called. Yeah, I never tried it myself. I know it's kind of a growing craze. Maybe Madonna made it really popular. As far as I know, you do it in a sauna. But it can't possibly be a sauna like...
Not a real sauna, right?
Yeah, I don't know what the temperature is, but I think the philosophy behind it is to try to recreate the same climate as you'd find in India, where yoga originates.
Oh, right. So you want it to be really hot
and humid, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And also people who like to get the kind of the stretch value, but also like to sweat at the same time. If you want to sweat at yoga, then to crank up the temperature is going to help you.
Wow, that's intense. Well, what about, have you heard about CrossFit?
CrossFit?
Yeah,
no.
CrossFit's the big rage in America.
CrossFit? No, I haven't heard of that.
CrossFit is like, people do all of these really old school exercises like push-ups or pull-ups.
Star jumps.
They do like jumping jacks. They do really weird things like deadlifts, stuff like that. But they do it one after the other in really short time intervals. And like you're supposed to, like the workout only takes 12 minutes.
Whoa.
But if you do it right, I think like some people actually get so fatigued they throw up. So, like, you really push your body to the limit.
Well, that is extreme.
It is extreme, although I'm probably saying it wrong. Yeah. So, but it's actually this big craze where people do more natural body movements, and you never do the same thing twice. You're not supposed to get into a routine. You always do things different.
You do it like spontaneously, or you set yourself a program?
I think that, well, there's a whole website. You can go to the CrossFit website and they explain it all. Yeah. But it looks pretty cool. It's like not your typical gym type workout.
CrossFit sounds like something you do on a BMX or something.
Right. Exactly. So after Laos, where did you go?
After Laos, I flew to Vietnam. And actually, I took the bus into Vietnam.
Okay.
Yes. And in Vietnam, I traveled from the north, from Hanoi to Ho Chi Minh City. But because my time was so short, I could only spend 1 or 2 days in each city.
What city did you like the most?
I think I prefer Hanoi the most. The food, the street food is amazing. It's a very lively city, lots of motorcycles and traffic. So it reminded me of Nigeria, where I was born, a little bit.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
And what did you do in Vietnam?
I spent time in Hanoi. I also went to visit Sapa, which has a lot of rice terraces. So these are mountains where they've planted rice fields. So the scenery, the view is really beautiful. And you also get to meet the native peoples, the local peoples there. So I enjoyed it. And then from there, I went to Hoi An, which is a very historical city. Very beautiful night scenery by the river. And then I went to Ho Chi Minh City, but I could only spend one night there before leaving for Myanmar.
Okay. And then how was Myanmar? What did you do there?
Myanmar was my last stop, and I didn't have so much time there, but I managed to visit some of the places I really wanted to see, like Yangon, Bagan, and Mandalay. I would say that Bagan was the highlight. They had many temples from the past, and just seeing that many of them, it was very impressive.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yes.
So, what country was your favorite?
It's hard to say. They each have their own good points, but I think I would definitely like to visit Thailand again.
Oh, okay. Thailand. So that's in a great place. Anyway, thanks, Abidemi.
Thank you, Todd.
Abidemi, what did you do for summer break?
For summer break, I went to visit some countries in Asia.
Ooh, what countries?
I visited Thailand, Laos, Vietnam, and Myanmar.
Oh, great. What did you do in each country?
In Thailand, I was there for about a week. I ate a lot of delicious food, and I met many nice people. I love Thailand, so I hope to return again.
What foods did you eat?
I don't remember the names, but I just remember that they were all good.
Yeah, Thai food is so good.
Yes.
Did you go anywhere in Thailand, like the beach or the forest?
I was more interested in nature, so I traveled from Bangkok to Chiang Mai and Chiang Rai, and I went trekking and rode elephants. So that was one of the highlights of my trips.
Oh, nice. How long was the trek?
The trek was about a day. It was a trek for 2-3 hours, but then we also stayed overnight in a community in the hills, and then the next day we trekked for a little bit to come back to the city.
Nice. So, was Thailand the first stop?
Yes, it was my first stop. It was supposed to be the shortest stop, but I loved it so much that I spent more time there.
After Thailand, where did you go?
From Thailand, I moved on by land to Laos.
And what did you do in Laos?
In Laos, I mainly was in the northern part of the country, and I went zip lining.
Ooh, fun.
It was fun.
So
So
zip lining is flying from tree to tree.
that's correct. So that was about 2 days worth of zip lining, and we stayed overnight in a big tree house.
Oh, how fun.
It was quite,
Nice.
I really enjoyed it.
Hey Todd, can I ask you a favor?
Sure, anytime.
I really need a place to stay,
Uh-huh.
and I heard that your house is on Airbnb.
It is on Airbnb. I do rent my house, but for you, it's free.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, of
Can I
course.
stay there then?
You can. How long?
Maybe a week or 2 weeks.
Okay. When?
From next Monday?
Yeah, actually, you can do that. That works.
Excellent. Thank you so much. How about a car? Can I park my car?
That's a problem. You can't park your car because there's no space. But there is a cheap parking lot about maybe 2 blocks away.
Okay.
So it's only a couple dollars a day.
Okay. I guess I can park my car there. How about cooking there? Can I cook?
Of course, yeah, you can cook. I have a stove, a refrigerator. You can bring your own food. You can do whatever you want.
Excellent. Thank you. Can I use the internet?
You can use the internet. There's a password. I will write down the password before I leave, and I will write down the password before you get there.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I was thinking about asking my friend if he can stay. Could my friend stay over?
Yeah, sure. So your friend can stay. Not a problem, I don't think.
He has a dog. Can he bring his dog?
Ooh, that is a problem. Does the dog have a cage?
No, but we can get a cage.
I'm not sure about the dog. If the dog is in a cage, it's okay in the house, but I think, yeah, you can't have the dog in the house.
Okay. How about smoking?
Hmm.
My friend is a very heavy smoker. Can he smoke outside?
Yeah, he can smoke outside. Just please pick up cigarette butts. But, of course, he can't smoke inside.
Okay, he can't smoke inside?
No.
Okay. How about if we want to have a party? Can we have a party?
Yeah, you can have a party. That's okay. But please be quiet. Don't be too loud. The neighbors live very close to my house.
All right, that sounds good. Thanks. And I have one more question.
Uh-huh.
Can I use the washing machine?
Yeah, of course. You can use anything. You can use the washing machine. You can use the internet. You can use the TV. You can use anything you like.
Wow, excellent. That sounds great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I will write down directions for my house, and I will send you a map, and you can check it out and get all the information. And just, I will leave the key for you with my neighbor.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Sure, no problem.
So, Meg, you look like a healthy person. Do you eat lots of fruits and vegetables?
I do eat lots of fruits and vegetables, especially fruit. I love to eat fruit because it's so sweet.
Yeah? What fruits do you like?
I love bananas because they're so healthy for you, and so usually in the morning for breakfast I'll have a banana. I also love blueberries. Blueberries are my favorite fruit, but sometimes they're expensive, so I can't often eat blueberries.
Oh, I agree. Blueberries are so good. I love blueberries in oatmeal.
Ah, that's a good idea. I love to have blueberries in muffins.
Oh, that's nice. Well, you bake. Do you bake blueberry muffins?
I do bake blueberry muffins and also blueberry bread, blueberry pancakes, many blueberry things.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Mm.
So, are there any fruits you don't like?
I don't like kiwi, actually, because the flavor is okay, but the fruit is too soft. So usually I don't want to eat kiwi.
Oh, wow. I love kiwi. I love kiwi and bananas. It's very good.
Sounds okay, but maybe I'll just have the banana.
So, what about vegetables? Are you a person who eats lots of salad?
I don't eat a lot of salad, but I do like to eat vegetables with my meals, usually lunch and dinner.
So you cook vegetables?
I cook vegetables or I eat vegetables fresh. For example, usually with my lunch, I'll cut up a cucumber and put some salt or pepper on the cucumber and eat it with my lunch.
Oh, great. I love vegetable sticks. So I love carrot sticks, cucumber sticks, radish sticks. It's very good.
Do you like to dip vegetable sticks into any dressing?
I do, but it's not healthy, right? But
No.
yeah, I love the dressing, like the ranch dressing with carrot sticks or the ranch dressing with cucumber sticks. It's very nice.
Yeah, it's pretty delicious, but you're right, not so healthy.
No. So what vegetables do you cook?
Sometimes I cook broccoli. I actually like to roast broccoli, which is when you put broccoli into the oven and cook it for a few minutes. So it's really delicious. You can add some salt or seasonings, and it's easy to make. You can cook some meat or rice while the broccoli is in the oven, and then it's ready for your dinner.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, you see some vegetables like on a kebab that are roasted. I guess onions are roasted, peppers are
Right.
roasted. Do
Right.
you roast other vegetables besides broccoli?
Sometimes tomatoes and sometimes potatoes, although, is that a vegetable?
It is, but it's not a very healthy vegetable.
Oh, so maybe I shouldn't eat potatoes.
Oh, I love potatoes though. So you roast vegetables. Do you cook vegetables any other way? Do you boil vegetables or fry vegetables?
Sometimes I boil vegetables. For example, I like to boil carrots because they're soft and you can add some spices again to have some flavor when you eat carrots with your meal.
Yeah. Actually, I love carrots, but I only like raw carrots.
Oh, really?
And I hate cooked carrots.
Oh, well, I'll try to remember that if you ever come over for dinner.
Yeah, carrot sticks, please.
Okay.
So, Meg, we are talking about animals. Do you like to go to the zoo?
I love to go to the zoo.
Okay, so when you go to the zoo, what animals do you like to watch?
I really like to watch giraffes. Giraffes are so tall, and giraffes look really soft and friendly. So I wish that I could touch a giraffe someday.
Oh, that's so true. There is a zoo near my house in California, and you can walk up some stairs, and then you can feed the giraffes, and their face is the same height as your face, and they look really, really cute. And yeah, giraffes are great.
Oh, giraffes are so cute. Maybe someday I can feed the giraffes.
I like how giraffes look. I love their face. And I also love camels also, because I think camels have a similar face. They look really cool.
I don't think camels are very cute.
Really?
Yeah, they're so hairy. Camels have so much hair that they look ugly.
Oh, really? Oh, I like camels. They always look cool and relaxed.
They do look relaxed, but I like giraffes better than camels.
Well, what about llamas? Llamas are kind of like camels and are kind of like giraffes. They kind of have the same face. Do you like llamas?
I think llamas look cute, but I've heard that llamas aren't very friendly.
Really?
Have you heard about llamas spitting at people before?
No, actually, I think I heard camels do that, but maybe llamas do it too.
I'm not sure.
Okay, so what about other animals? What other animals do you like at the zoo?
I really like the zebras because zebras are black and white with stripes, so the zebra stripes are really cool, and zebras are similar to horses, so sometimes I think I could ride a zebra if I had one.
Yeah, that would be cool. Zebras do look pretty cool. Are there any other animals?
Well, there's one animal that I'm afraid of, and that's a bear.
Yeah, bears are pretty scary.
Bears are really scary, and they're so big with huge teeth and giant claws, and I feel like a bear would eat me if I met it in person.
Actually, have you seen a bear in the wild?
No, I've never seen a bear in the wild, and I really don't want to.
Oh, wow. In California, sometimes you can see bears in the wild, small black bears. And actually, the black bears are not that dangerous.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, you need to be careful when you see a black bear in the wild, but they almost never attack anybody. So the one animal you must be afraid of, though, is the mountain lion. So there are mountain lions also in California, and they are scary.
So maybe I should avoid mountain lions too.
Yeah. If you walk in the wild and you see a mountain lion, maybe it's too late. You're already in trouble.
Maybe I'll just keep going to the zoo. Hey Todd, did you have any pets when you were a kid?
I did. I had many pets, actually. I had a dog, of course, and I had some cats. But actually, I grew up on a farm. Yeah, so we raised lots of animals, and on the farm, I always felt like the animals were my pets. So it was pretty cool.
Wow, that sounds really exciting for a kid.
Oh, it was great. It was the best.
What kind of animals were on your farm?
We had almost every farm animal possible. For example, we had pigs. We raised a lot of pigs. And pigs actually are really good pets. They're very fun. Pigs are very friendly animals, and they're not really dangerous. So, also pigs like people. So sometimes when we were little, we would ride on the pig's back. But if our grandpa saw us riding on the pigs, he would yell at us. We always got in trouble.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Also, aren't pigs dirty?
They are dirty. So when you would go in the pig pen, you would get very, very dirty. But, when you are small, when you are young, you don't care. It's just fun.
What about other animals like chickens?
We did have chickens, and lots of chickens. And the chickens maybe were the least friendly animals. So chickens don't like people.
Really?
And the chickens, you have to go get the eggs. So working with chickens was not easy. And I never really liked the chickens that much. Plus, the chickens you eat more often, so it's a little different.
Right. Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen a chicken in person.
Really?
No.
Oh, wow. You must be a city girl.
I am. Although, when I was young, I always wanted to have a horse. Did your farm have horses?
We had one horse for a while, and then we had a pony. So, yeah, we had one horse and we had one pony. The pony was great because when I was little, we could ride the pony. But the pony was actually really mean. So the pony would bite you if you were not careful. And if you tried to ride the pony, sometimes the pony would get angry, very angry. But it's okay. When you're small on a farm, it's normal.
Oh, that pony sounds scary. Were there any other animals that you had that were more friendly?
Yeah, actually, the best pet you can have is a goat.
Really, a goat?
Yeah, goats are fantastic. Goats love people. They really, really love people. And they're very social. And goats follow people. So when you are little on the farm and when you walk around, the goats become your friend. So when I was little, I would walk and I had friendly goats that would follow me everywhere, and they were great. And they're very curious. They like to see what you're doing, and yeah, and they like to be petted. So you know how like you pet a dog, you pet a cat? Goats also like for you to pet them. They're very, very social. And it's interesting because goats and sheep are kind of similar, but really they're very different. So goats are very social, goats are very friendly, and sheep are very shy, and sheep don't like people at all. So sheep stay away from people, and goats always get close to people.
Sounds like a goat is a good pet to have.
Goats are the best. They are so friendly. And goats are cool because goats talk to you. So they like to make a sound, you know, like bah, they bah, or whatever, they make a sound. And when you walk around as a young boy or young girl, the goats are great. They follow you and you feel like the goat is talking to you, which is cool.
That sounds really fun. Now I wish I had some goats.
Yeah, you got to. The only other animal we also had cows.
Oh.
And cows are cool. Some cows are friendly. Most cows are shy. But cows, you know, they always come to you because they think they will get food. But if they see you have no food, then cows stay away. So cows, like sheep, are a little afraid of people.
Oh.
But pigs and goats love people and they're very social.
Oh, it sounds really cool growing up on a farm.
It was. I was lucky.
What about your personality or your characteristics?
I would like to be more studious for school because I'm not that much of stay home all night to study person. I look at my textbook and I really try, but then I realize I could be doing something else. So I just go out and do something else, and I don't do my homework, and I don't fail because I am at least smart enough to pass. But sometimes it's a struggle to get through. So yeah, I would like to be more studious and more maybe hesitant in my answers because I talk before I think at some point. And sometimes I do like my open personality though, like being like, for example, when we went out partying yesterday, I was talking to everybody, which was very nice. And people seem to like that open attitude, as long as you're not being open and arrogant, because I try not to.
Yeah.
If you're being open open because you're interested in the person you're talking to, then you get more positive responses.
Yeah.
So I do like that.
But being so open has caused you problems as well. I remember that guy thought that you liked him because you were so nice to him.
Happen. I can't help it. There was a guy in my school, I don't know, a guy, he's probably in his 40s, who went over and talked to me, and it's just impossible for me to say go away, so I ended up giving him my phone number, and now he calls me every night 12:30 on my phone, which is very loud and very annoying.
Every night.
And when I pick up, he stopped now because I don't pick up anymore. But in the beginning, I pick up the phone and he said hi, and then I said, what do you want? And then he said, nothing much. How are you? Like really, he didn't even want anything. He just wanted to talk to me, and yeah, that's kind of problems happens more than often because I can't help it.
What would you like to change about your status, like a new house, job, boyfriend, anything like that?
I would not mind finding a nice guy. I would not at all. I don't know about the specifics, and I am not even sure I can handle a relationship right now. Maybe I just want to meet somebody to try and work it out with. But that's probably the most important thing, because I love where I live. I love my study. I don't have a job, and that's really nice. I've saved up money before traveling, so I do have a lot of money right now. So I don't need to work, and that's nice.
At the moment.
At the moment.
So, Maria, I thought we'd just talk about things like what would you like to change about yourself? Mm-hmm. So what would you like to change about your appearance?
Well, I don't like I don't like to think about changing myself. I like how people look from the birth, if you can say that. But if I should choose, I would like to change my height, because I'm very tall, and it does cause a problem when I'm looking for a guy. Especially since in the past I happened to fall for shorter guys, and I got issues because they were always being intimidated by my height, especially when I wore heels. So I would like to be have my body, because I do like my long legs, but just be shorter and not be taller than everybody.
Yeah.
As I am at the moment. All of my friends.
I guess that would also lead to you having problems finding shoes and clothes and stuff
indeed,
like that.
Yes. I have to watch out. Well, in my country, it's not a problem to find shoe sizes, because we are very tall people normally. So shoes are big and clothes are big, but when I travel, I went to China to try to visit a friend, and I wanted to go shopping, and it's impossible to find shoes and long pants and fitting bras too, if you can imagine. So that I would like to change my height, but otherwise I might change my weight, for example, or I have changed my hair color several times. I went from blonde to black to red to blonde. So, otherwise, I think I'm fine with me.
Are you happy about it? Oh, now, looking back, are you glad she did?
It was tough love. At the time, I hated her, and I was getting picked on a lot at school about it, because I just didn't realize that, as a female, you have to do these certain things. It's this is what's acceptable in the community. You have to do this. So it's I didn't realize it, because I always played with the boys, and none of them did this crap. It's why do we have to worry about that?
It sounds really kind of old-fashioned, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I was actually, now thinking about it, I'm happy that she did, because, it brought it home to me that to a certain degree, you do have to at least, live with what your community, accepts as standards. If you walk outside, the community accepts that you have to, wear a shirt when you go outside. You can't go out topless. You probably should wear the shirt, or you'll get looked at funny.
So if I don't want my daughter to wear makeup, I should actually buy her some makeup and force her to wear it. So she'll do the exact opposite.
Well, I have heard that children do tend to do exactly what their parents tell them not to do. I don't know. I didn't want to wear makeup, so my mom was concerned. I know a lot of people, though, who have had the opposite problem, when they're younger, they're maybe 7 or 8, and they want to wear makeup because mommy does. And, I had a lot of friends who would play dress up. They would sneak into mom's closet, steal all her dresses and her high heels, and steal all her makeup and, play dress up. And at a certain age, it was cute. But my cousin actually was one of them, and she would wear makeup. She was to school. And she was only an elementary schooler.
Wow,
So
that's pretty young.
yeah, there was a lot of anger about that from the teachers, and it was not all acceptable. So I don't really know when the correct age is to wear makeup, but I think at least if they're more mature or more adult-like, I guess maybe it's all right. Once they're no longer little girls anymore, then maybe you can let them wear makeup if they want. But
well, cheers. Thanks for the advice, and I'll use it wisely.
You're welcome.
Okay, Monica, we're going to debate winning in sports, especially for young people. So do you think that winning should be stressed with sports with, let's say, high school athletes?
Well, it depends on the situation and what they're training for. But generally, I think that winning is overemphasized in sport. I think that participation is more important. Yeah.
Why would you say that?
Well, I think if you concentrate too much on winning, then the problem is if you don't win, you don't enjoy the sport. So the emphasis is shifted from enjoyment to basically results. So I think it can be quite damaging.
Right. Oh, I kind of agree with what you're saying. And actually, I played high school sports, and I was never very good. And I always wish I participated more than I did. But I actually think that the focus on winning in some ways is quite important, and that it does serve a good purpose to have a focus on winning rather than on participation. I think the main reason is because when you focus on winning, that drives everybody to be better. So if you want to win, if you want to be on the team, etc., you have to force yourself to be better, and it's the carrot on the end of the stick, and it makes people train harder, work harder. It sets a goal for them, and it kind of prepares them for life. That sometimes you fail, and sometimes you don't get what you want. And so that's why sports and the whole focus on winning is good, because it's exactly how life is in the real world.
I would tend to argue the other way and say that actually sport doesn't reflect life in terms of winning and losing. I mean, let's take a work situation. It's not about winning or losing. It's about cooperating with people that you work with. And so if you have had an upbringing where you've been in a sports team that has been overly competitive, you could transfer that competitiveness into a workplace, and it can be counterproductive because it may mean that you're just not very good at being a team player in a work environment.
That's actually a really good point. But you could also argue that actually, even a work environment is like sport, and that you have teamwork and you have to work together. And if you don't work together in a very productive way, maybe you'll be out of a job or your company won't be productive. So you need to have that instinct to continually drive to be better than other people. And it sounds really brutal, but I think that's just how business works.
Well, you're talking about work being business, but I mean, I'm a teacher, and it brings me to quite an interesting discussion that's taking place now in teaching, which is two different kind of political views, really, in terms of teachers, because people want high standards in terms of their teachers, and one idea is to rate teachers in comparison to other teachers and basically give the top teachers incentives so that they get paid more than teachers who aren't as good as them. But the counter-argument to that is that it creates a really hostile environment in the workplace. And in a school where you really need teachers to work together, I'm not sure that that's the best way to go.
Yeah, well, that's another debate for another day. But,
is that a cop-out or what?
So, Monica, you actually are a trained physical education teacher.
Yes, that's right.
So we often hear about how kids today are not fit and they don't exercise enough. Do you think that's true?
I think it is true, yes. I think kids these days spend a lot more time on the computer than they used to. So, of course, that means less time outside and getting fit. Now,
in some countries, there's a big debate about how much fitness kids actually do in school. So in your country, in New Zealand, do kids still do a lot of fitness actually in school?
Well, reasonably recently, the PE curriculum got amalgamated with the health curriculum. So PE and health were considered to be important in school. And the health side of the curriculum is often taught in the classroom, and of course the PE side is often taught outside the classroom. And there is always debate about how much kids should be doing inside school. In fact, very recently, now that it has become quite a big problem in New Zealand for teenagers, there has been talk about increasing the number of PE lessons that students have. But the current Prime Minister, I think, believes that the emphasis should be put on out-of-school activities like clubs and encouraging students to become more involved in that side of things.
What do you feel? Do you think that it should be...
I actually agree, to be honest, because I think if you increase the number of PE lessons that students have in a week, it doesn't actually necessarily increase their motivation to be involved in physical activity. But if, like he's suggesting, you increase the opportunities outside of school, students maybe become involved in a sport that they choose, that they like to do, and they hopefully can take it on as a lifetime sport, which is important.
But wouldn't the counter-argument be that only kids that actually have a natural inclination to play sports will want to join those clubs, and that the kids that are more sedentary or don't enjoy physical activity won't join a club, and so you need to actually make them do fitness in school?
Yeah, that's true. That is a counter-argument, and a very good one.
So I guess
to argue on some other occasion. Of course, I can talk about that side of the argument as well, if you want me to.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
So what about you? You're still in the same place, right?
Yeah, I'm still there.
Good. How's it going?
Oh, it's great. I'm actually quite satisfied with it now.
Oh, good, because I thought you wanted to move at one point.
Yeah, I thought about it for a while, but then I decided to stay there. There's a lot of good points there. It's a quiet neighborhood. it's not too far from the train, so I can get to work easily. For a while I thought it might be a little too expensive, just slightly above my budget, but I've gotten used to it, and my cats love it. They're really comfortable there. So I think I'm going to stay.
Oh, great. I love your cats. Do they have a lot of room to roam around?
They have enough room. Of course, they were better off in the house.
Right.
I was living there last year. But they've adapted pretty well. So there's a roof there. I can take them up and they run around. There's plenty of places for them to hide.
Now, what about your neighbors? Are you still living near Matt and Laura?
Yeah.
Right.
Actually, it's really funny. They'd been there for about 4 months, and last weekend they invited some people over, about 5 or 6 of their colleagues, and they had a little party. I think they played poker and had lots of booze around. But unfortunately, the neighbors complained to the landlord, and the landlords were just really angry.
Oh no!
So they sent them this really harsh email, and they said that they wanted them out by the end of the week. So yeah, Matt and Laura have been kicked out of the building.
You are kidding!
No.
Wow, and just 5 people over.
Yeah, it was like 5 or 6 people, but apparently it was loud enough. I think it's because the neighborhood is kind of family-oriented, so people aren't used to loud parties.
Oh, right. Maybe the voices carry a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of echo in the building, actually, for some reason. So.
Well, that's too bad for them. Where did they move?
They just moved down the street to another apartment building. It's smaller, so I don't think they're happy about it, but oh well.
Well, tell them I said hey when you see them.
I will, yeah. So, Ginger, I hear you have a new apartment.
Yes, it's great. I just moved in last week.
Nice. Where is it?
It's near Victory Monument. Do you know where that is?
Yeah, I do. How do you get to work from there?
Well, I take the SkyTrain.
Oh, that's really convenient.
It is. It's just a 5-minute walk.
Okay. And what's the neighborhood like?
It's a crowded neighborhood. There are a lot of people, lots of cars, just lots of energy in general.
And is it conveniently located?
It's very convenient. It's about a 5-minute walk to the SkyTrain station.
Okay. Why did you decide to move?
Well, it's near a park, and I love living near a park. And it's also just a 5-minute walk to my gym.
And have you made any new friends in that neighborhood?
I have. I've met a couple of people in my apartment building, and I've gotten to know the person who owns a restaurant across the street. There's some great restaurants on the street also.
Oh, what kind of restaurants?
Well, mostly Thai restaurants. A lot of Thai people live in the area. But there's also a Western restaurant and a Japanese.
And is it a safe neighborhood?
I feel very safe there. I've heard that there's some thefts on some of the quiet streets where the motorbikes will ride by and snatch your bag off your shoulder. But I've never actually seen it myself, and I feel very safe sleeping there.
And what about traffic?
There is a lot of traffic.
Oh, no.
Yes, the traffic, and a lot of street traffic, too. Lots of people walking on the street, so it can be tough to get around. But there's still a lot of excitement in the area, so it's fun to be out and people watch.
It doesn't sound like a quiet neighborhood.
No, it's not quiet at all, unless you go into the park, and then it's very quiet.
How often do you go to the park?
almost every night. Every night after work, I'll take a walk in the park, and there's a pond with a water display with music. So it can be very soothing.
Shirley, one question, please. I'm a bit confused now. One thing, when about sports, sometimes I can see UK play something with a team. Sometimes you're all divided. Why is that?
So we are essentially still four separate countries in a United Kingdom. So, yeah, basically each country just wanted to keep their national team. In the case of the Olympics, for some reason, and I'm not sure of the exact reason, but the Olympics Committee didn't want four divided teams from Great Britain. They wanted a representative of the United Kingdom, so they basically made the rule that Great Britain had to send a team and not teams from the four individual countries. So we are a United Kingdom, but we're still very much four independent countries, and each country is very proud of their own national teams for football and for rugby and things like that. And yeah, but it's good that we get together for the Olympics and we can perform as one united country.
Okay, thank you very much. So, Shirley, we were talking about politics. How is the situation in your country?
Well, you know, I'm pretty much an on-the-fence kind of person, and politics is not my forte. It's not something I like to get into a conversation about. So I'll just change the subject if that's all right. I'd like to tell you a bit about the United Kingdom. You know, I'm from Scotland, and you know, where is Scotland? I get this question so often. Is that in Norway? And is it a region of England? So just to clarify, it's pretty complicated, but in the United Kingdom, the UK, we have Scotland, England, Wales and Northern Ireland. And then people know Great Britain.
Yes,
Okay.
so I do.
Great Britain is Scotland, England and Wales. To give the country its full title, it's the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. That's the full title for the UK or Great Britain or GB, or England is just one country within four that are united. It sounds really complicated.
But it is the biggest one, right?
England is the biggest country with a population of 40 million. Scotland's about 5 million. Now, I correct myself. England is, I think, 49 million. Wales is about 2 million. Northern Ireland about 2 or 3 million. So in total, the whole of the United Kingdom is about 60 million population. How did that come about? Go back 300 years or more even. England and Wales united over 300 years ago, and then Scotland was invited to join the union between England and Wales. Scotland agreed with actually many conditions. For example, one of the conditions was the money, the value of the pound. In Scotland we have Bank of Scotland pounds, and in England it's Bank of England pounds. It's all the same sterling currency of the UK, just it's very difficult in England to spend any money that's got Bank of Scotland written on it, even though it's all the same money. Anyway, that's another issue.
So, 300 years ago, Scotland joined the union between England and Wales to become Great Britain. And then, I think early in the 1800s, that's when Ireland joined. Of course, now it's just Northern Ireland, and there's other history related to that. We could go on all day talking about how it became Northern Ireland. So when people think of the UK, they generally think the UK is England, but it's actually 4 countries. So.